What if one single cyber attack could turn off an entire country in seconds? No lights, no internet, no communication. No way to understand what is happening around you, just sudden silence and darkness spreading across cities. This may sound like a scene from a movie, but in 2026, it is becoming a serious concern that experts are starting to talk about more openly as technology becomes more advanced and systems become more connected. Modern life depends heavily on electricity, almost everything we use every day, from smartphones to hospitals, from banking systems to transportation networks, relies on a stable and continuous supply of power. And behind this power is a complex network known as the power grid, a system designed to distribute electricity across vast regions, connecting power plants, substations, and millions of users. But what many people do not realize is that this system is not just physical, it is also digital, controlled by software, automated systems, and communication networks that make it efficient, but also create potential vulnerabilities. If someone gains access to these systems, they could disrupt or even shut down entire sections of the grid. The idea of hackers targeting power grids is not new. There have been incidents in the past where cyber attacks caused temporary outages and disruptions, but what is different now is the scale and sophistication of these attacks. Today, cyber threats are more advanced, more organized, and in some cases supported by highly skilled groups with significant resources. Imagine a coordinated attack where multiple parts of a country's power grid are targeted at the same time. Substations go offline, control systems stop responding, and operators are locked out of their own networks. Within minutes, cities begin to lose power, traffic lights stop working, airports face delays, hospitals switch to emergency systems, and people are left confused and uncertain. The impact of such an event would go far beyond just losing electricity. Communication networks would be affected, internet services would go down, and financial systems could be disrupted, creating a chain reaction that affects every aspect of daily life. And in a highly connected world, this disruption could spread beyond borders, affecting neighboring regions and global systems. One of the most challenging aspects of a cyber attack on a power grid is how difficult it can be to detect and respond in real time. Unlike physical attacks, there are no visible signs at the beginning. Everything happens within systems and networks, and by the time the effects become visible, it may already be too late to prevent the damage. At the same time, the people behind such attacks often use sophisticated techniques to hide their identity, making it difficult to determine who is responsible. This creates uncertainty and tension because without clear attribution, it becomes harder to respond and increases the risk of escalation between nations or groups. This could change everything you know about the future because it shifts the focus of security from physical defense to digital protection. The strength of a country is no longer measured only by its military power, but also by its ability to protect its critical infrastructure from cyber threats and ensure that essential systems remain operational even under attack. Governments and organizations around the world are aware of these risks and are investing heavily in cybersecurity measures, trying to protect their networks, monitor potential threats, and develop response strategies. But the challenge is that cyber threats evolve constantly and attackers are always looking for new ways to bypass defenses. There is also a human factor involved. Many cyber attacks begin with simple methods such as phishing emails, weak passwords, or social engineering, where attackers manipulate individuals to gain access to secure systems. This means that even the most advanced technology can be compromised if basic security practices are not followed. Another concern is the increasing use of interconnected devices and smart systems. As cities become smarter and more automated, the number of entry points for potential attacks increases. Each connected device represents a possible vulnerability, and managing this growing network becomes more complex over time. In such a scenario, the concept of a digital battlefield becomes very real, where conflicts are fought not with weapons but with code and data, and where the effects are felt not on a battlefield but in everyday life, affecting millions of people at once. The idea of a power grid hack also raises questions about resilience. How quickly can systems be restored? How prepared are emergency services? How will people react in a situation where normal communication channels are not available? These are important questions that highlight the need for planning and preparedness. At the same time, it is important to understand that not every cyber threat leads to a major disruption. Many attacks are detected and stopped, before they can cause significant damage, and ongoing efforts in cybersecurity continue to improve the ability to protect critical systems and respond to potential threats. However, the possibility remains, and in a world that depends so heavily on technology, even a small vulnerability can have large consequences. This is why experts emphasize the importance of awareness education and continuous improvement in security practices. As you think about this scenario, consider how dependent daily life has become on systems that operate in the background. Systems that most people never think about until they stop working. The power grid is one of the most important of these systems, and its stability is essential for modern society. If a large-scale cyber attack were to occur, the effects would not just be immediate, but could also have long-term consequences: economic losses, disruption of services, and a loss of confidence in systems that people rely on every day. The question is not just whether such an event is possible, but how likely it is and what steps are being taken to reduce the risk and improve resilience. Understanding the nature of the threat is an important part of being prepared and ensuring that systems are designed to withstand and recover from potential disruptions. At the same time, it is important to avoid unnecessary panic and focus on practical measures that can be taken to improve security, from strong passwords to regular updates, from awareness of phishing attempts to support for policies that strengthen cybersecurity at a larger scale. Every action contributes to a more secure environment. Strengthen cybersecurity environment. The larger scale, every action contributes to a more secure environment. The secure environment. The future of technology brings both opportunities and challenges, and as systems become more advanced, the need for effective security measures becomes even more critical. Balancing innovation with protection is one of the key challenges of our time, and if the next major disruption does not come from a physical attack, but from a digital one that targets the systems we depend on every day, the real question is not just how it will happen, but how prepared we are to respond and recover. Because in a world where everything is connected, a single point of failure can have far-reaching effects, and the ability to protect and maintain critical infrastructure, like the power grid, will play a crucial role in shaping the stability and security of the future. So, as technology continues to evolve and the digital landscape becomes more complex, the importance of cybersecurity cannot be ignored. It is not just about protecting data, but about protecting the systems that support modern life and ensuring that even in the face of potential threats, society can continue to function and adapt. And if one day the lights do go out without warning, the real challenge will not just be restoring power, but understanding how it happened and making sure it does not happen again.